Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So yesterday we found that whether it is through the path of action or the path of devotion, emotional path, or the path of intellection, the study of philosophy and pure meditation at the intellectual level, all the three are not creating or taking us to it. It is already there. Only thing is that we are not able to experience it directly, reach it out directly, comprehend it directly. We know that we are alive. Nobody has any doubt whether you are conscious or not. We are conscious of all perceptions with the body, all the feelings with the mind, and all the thoughts that are arising in our intellect. We are conscious of. But what is it? What is this consciousness, the subject, without which I don't exist, with which I exist? Who is this I then? We are not able to recognize it even though it is so near to us, only because of the mental and intellectual preoccupation, agitations. Due to these agitations, we are not able to recognize it directly, and therefore we went through the cause of agitations. The spring of all agitations appear to be the subtle impressions and tendencies created in the past in our personality, the vasanas. The vasanas you will understand easily if I tell you in your language, the hang-ups. But I don't like that word, that is why I avoid it. Hang up. Hang down, it's all right. Hang up. Hang up. Somehow that word is allergic to me, and that is why I am not using it. But then in order to make you understand, a familiar and very popular word is the hang-ups. These hang-ups create such agitations of the mind and intellect that we are preoccupied in the world outside in fulfilling those desires, that there is no time or no moment when the mind is quiet, that we can peep over it of what exists behind. So all yogas, the word is called yoga. In the Western Semitic religion, it is called a religion. Religious, spiritual, or religious activities. Whether you call it religion or yoga, the attempt is, the word yoga explains it beautifully, yuju, to join, to yoke. At this moment the mind and intellect's attention is yoked, turned, constantly reveling in the world of objects, emotions and thoughts outside. To unhook the mind's attention from this realm, to rehook it to the higher, to yoke it to the higher is called yoga. Whether it is through asana pranaya, or service to the world, to the doing your duty, surrendering unto Him, or turning in emotion to the pure devotion to the Lord, or through analysis and intellectual thinking process, we can to a large extent reduce and minimize the arrogant ego and its compelling selfish desires, and with the less of ego and desires when we act on, these vasanas get exhausted. The pressure of the vasana on M and I is reduced. The mind and intellect becomes more and more steady in its contemplativeness. Contemplativeness or contemplative power is already essentially with every one of us. Just as a sex urge is there in every child newly born, but it expresses itself later in life as a compulsion. In the same way, this essential power to meditate is essentially in every mind, every inner equipment in every individual. But at this moment that faculty is not expressing itself because the mind is exhausting itself, its attention is exhausted in the world outside. So all yogas representing or methods by which the vasana can be exhausted. So all of them are parallel roads, parallel lanes in the same highway. Each one, whatever that suits him, he takes it. Majority of us are body-oriented, some of us are very emotional, and others are highly rational type. Therefore, these three paths have been given out. Of these, highly body-oriented, man of action was Arjuna, and to him was the Gita addressed. And majority of us are body-oriented, active, dynamic men and women with great ambitions and wanting to achieve those ambitions and fulfill our desires. And therefore, the third chapter is indicated or addressed to Arjuna. The karma yoga, the ability to hook our attention to the higher, reach out through fulfilling our duties with the right mental attitude in work. Not by changing the work, not by changing the theater or the field of activity, but by changing the method or the mental mood, mental attitude, your evaluation, your values within. And when you thus struggle in the world outside, in the new and right mood, the mind becomes, the vasanas get exhausted, and the individual grows as he lives through the ups and downs of life. Not by retirement. This is not meant for the recluse, for those who are going into a monastery or a cave in the Himalayas. This is meant for you and I who are now being thrust into situations and problems and crises at every time, in the field of action, while achieving things in the world outside and meeting our problems, solving the crisis, meeting the situations, through tears and laughter, doesn't matter. In and through those contacts, while doing it, if there is a subjective readjustment of our attitude to life, spiritual growth or the inner purification, as the religion calls it, takes place. And when the mind and intellect is quiet, alert, not merely quiet, because merely quiet happens in deep sleep also. That is not it. But mind quiet, but sharp and alert. Such a mind is the fittest instrument for the take-off in meditation. Now the third chapter we come to. Now as a commentary or discourse upon, an explanation upon the third chapter, to start with, I will have to tell you, you may laugh, that the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita comes after the second chapter. Oh, wonderful wise man, come from all the way to India. Oh, the great Eastern sage, teaching us what? The third chapter comes after the second chapter. But it is very important. Because the 18th chapter Gita is expounding on a science of living, the art of action, how to live in life. It is a philosophy of existence. A science cannot be poured out to you in one word or two words or in one discourse. The student is slowly craned up and up from the base, mere, animal, materialistic, sensuous values of life to see, and it is not sudden, slowly, slowly, so that the student himself recognizes, I never knew that this world, this life can be lived in a better way, with better and healthier values. He doesn't know it. He has to be slowly cranked up, cranked up. This education, it takes place step by step, discourse by discourse. It's not a magic. It is the student start thinking and thinking with the new data at his disposal. Naturally, therefore, the third chapter should arrive after the second chapter, meaning that the student has already reacted to the ideas propounded in the second chapter. Are you not really speaking today? The third day, and you are already conditioned, or you have already received the ideas that we discussed on the first and the second day. If every day you come and you are free, completely forgotten all that has been heard, the third day will be exactly as ineffectual to you as the first and the second day. You are merely wasting your time. I sympathize and pity him, because it would have been much better if you had gone to your pictures. Today when you are listening, you have already had certain ideas already in the past, and with that mind, I react and respond to what is happening right in front of me. This is called intellectual living. In the second chapter, Arjuna had already heard from Krishna that he emphasized, Krishna did emphasize the need for devotion, the need for doing your duties in that right mental attitude of detachment without ego and egocentric desires. That we will discuss later on. Now, this idea has been hammered in many a time with all the emphasis at his command. However, in the last closing 18 verses of the second chapter, Krishna, as it were in an inspired mood, seemed to have even forgotten himself and the audience to whom he is talking. And he gave us in those 18 verses one of the greatest lyrics of the world languages. The sublimity of it is a reflection of the sublime theme that is discussed. He explained how a man, when he has finally quietened the mind and awakened to the higher state, with that special knowledge, when he re-enters into the world of his usual world, how will he react and respond to the world of stimuli, the objects, or the emotions or thoughts? What relationship he will keep with the world outside? How does he remain there equipoised and balanced in and through the various vicissitudes of his life? Will he not get again enchanted by the world around? 100 questions would rise. All these are expounded in those 18 verses, the last portion called Sthita Prajna. He painted clearly to our understanding how will a man of perfection, who had reached that higher state and awakened into it, with that knowledge of the higher state, when he re-enters into his old world, the society, the community, how does he react and respond to the world around? Naturally, that glorious state of the man's complete freedom from the thraldom of the BMI and the threats of OET, he He lives as a master of himself and a master of the world around. Arjuna got fascinated by it. And this state is reached through the last leap into the higher consciousness, higher state of consciousness, through the path of contemplation and meditation. If thus, the path of meditation is that which is the last leap into the larger state, the perfection. Why are you, Krishna, emphasizing so elaborately the action or the path of action? Thus Arjuna has already understood. And he is a Kshatriya, a leader of mankind, a Kshatriya Prince Pandava. So Arjuna's attitude is, I am always habituated to keep the best. I don't like the second best. And you yourself say that the path of meditation is the highest. I don't want the secondary, the lower, the third rate. Why not? Give me the best. And therefore, I need not fight this battle. Drive me to the Himalayas. There I shall meditate. The highest, the best. Even according to you. Why go through this misery of the world and go on fighting the problems day by day without ego and egocentric desires? Surrender yourself to the Lord and act on in the world outside. Do your duties as best as you can. Why? Especially in a situation where it is a crisis and I am uncomfortable with the situation. It is not very happy. It is a civil war, painful. And my own cousins and kith and kin and relations are standing in front of me, and therefore I am miserable, unhappy. Thus, when Krishna has completed his second discourse and sat back a little, probably to breathe a little more, or watching the face of the student, whether he has really got the ideas, the third chapter starts where Arjuna finds some disparity in the philosophical thought. He can't grasp it properly, therefore he raises his doubt. And with that, the third chapter starts. Each stanza, as I told you yesterday, will be chanted by Pavitra in 4 bits, and we all will take it up in chorus, repeat. Thus you fix your eyes on the book. I know that you don't know Sanskrit, but don't get excited about, I don't know Sanskrit. That is why I am here. If you know Sanskrit, I am unemployed. I have only to sell the book and go away. I am happy that you don't know Sanskrit. But all that I am unhappy is that you have got a fear neurosis. Especially Indians should not feel that way. Because 80 to 90% of your words in whatever vernacular you are, they are all springing from Sanskrit. Lucky. Only thing is that you don't know how to break it. But even if a word is not very clear to you, you repeat it 2-3 times, that taste will come. Because in the heart of every Sanskrit word is the root, and the root is the same in your vernacular as well as in Sanskrit. Only the suffix and prefix are changed, but the heart is the same. Right? My wife, before she came to America and after coming to America, I did not get shocked, though the prefix and the suffix have changed. The bottom and the top have changed. But the middle is the mother of my children. She changes her hairstyle, She changes her dress. She has got a high-heeled shoes. And looking at these two, I don't know who she is. But don't get frightened. She is the mother of your own children. But changed and transformed into a third-rate local, a third-rate imitation American. Because you can't be a real American by merely cutting the hair or putting a shoes. The dress changed, the way of talking changed, the attitude and behavior changed. The modesty of behavior is gone. Never mind. Still, she is the mother of your children. So, instead of getting frightened, look at the word, and if the word doesn't talk to you, repeat it 3-4 times in the mouth, you will find the word meaning coming out to you. As we read, you will understand what I am talking now. Arjuna what? Arjuna Uvacha Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Ghore Ma Niyojayasi Keshava. Arjuna Vaja, when the second chapter is over, second discourse is over, and the master gave some time to the student tried to analyze what he has already understood, and with his own convictions and previous knowledge, the new arrival or new ideas that have arrived in his bosom, there is a chemistry taking place, and out of it comes out the various fumes of doubt. As far as the relativity theory is concerned, I can confess to you openly, I have no doubts at all. Relativity theory of Einsteinian relativity theory. Swamiji, are you a master in it? No. Then how is it that you have no doubts? Because I know nothing about it. When you don't know anything about a thing, you have no doubts at all. Astrology, astronomy, I have no doubts at all. Why? I know nothing. On the other hand, if you bring an idea of something that I already know, medicine or science, which I already know certain things, and you are giving me a new idea, maybe it is a valid idea, I don't know, but that idea and whatever that I already know, there is a chemistry. And out of it, when I can't grasp it, comes out the fumes of doubt. He said it, but I'm not really sure. I don't know, because you have not been able to assimilate that idea, new idea, as my own idea yet. Arjuna is now in that attitude. He has decided himself to run away from the field of action, because it's very inconvenient for him, unconducive to him. He has decided in his mind as a man of action that under the circumstances the best thing is go away, renounce the field, the throne and everything, and go to the Himalayas. Why? There to meditate. This is convinced himself. This is his conclusion, okay? Krishna is trying to argue with him. No, not now. Play your part in the world outside. Do your duties well, surrendered unto him, and act on in the world without ego and egocentric desires. And that time would come when we will be fit for retirement and renunciation. Now, Arjuna, what are you renouncing? Problems. That is all that you are renouncing. Whatever you want, gained. The kingdom is not yours to give to anyone. Others are occupying the kingdom. If you win the battle, get the throne, stay on it, And you did not work for yourself becoming the king. You have no desire for it. And then renounce. Unless you earn, how can you renounce? Renounce what? Poverty? Unemployment? See? You have to first win your battle in the world, then renounce. So that, what are you running away? Don't run away. That is Krishna's standpoint. And Krishna is holding him by the shoulders, because he can't catch him by the collar, because Arjuna had no collar at that time. On the shoulders, and saying that, sir, don't run away now. Do your duty. Fulfill your duties towards the society and community who have elected you to do this job. And then it's your time. Go where you want. At this moment you are obliged to function in the society. This is not conducive to Arjuna. And he has decided to go. And when in such a mood, he heard all the verses that is expounding the need for action. And when Krishna in the last 18 verses went into ecstatic mood of inspired declaration of the glory and painted the picture of the man of perfection downtown so beautifully, Arjuna says, sir, it is evidently clear from the very words of yourself. You have committed yourself that the path of contemplation and knowledge, contemplation through which the knowledge of the higher gained, the path of knowledge and meditation is any day nobler than you yourself. Jayasi ched, in case you consider that it is jayati, it is nobler. The path of meditation is nobler than the path of action. Ye Janardana, he is calling a pet name of Krishna. We always do it. When we want your vote, I won't come and call you by your father's name. Tom, support me. Now I want to get something from you. Then we will always call the pet name. Ramakrishna Subramanyam, that is your full name. R.S. Maniam, you have reduced it because for the purpose of the local language, local people, because or else it becomes tongue twister. But when I come to you for getting something from you, I will call you, hey, Subbu. Not Subramanyam, Subbu. And if I want it, dig it deep into your pocket, then I'll say, Su. Not Boo. This is natural, pet name. Thus, he says, hey Janardana, please, in case you yourself consider, I am not thrusting the idea, your own words are standing as witness that you yourself consider the path of meditation and reaching the higher state is nobler than the path of action. Then, Tad Kim, then why are you karmani ghore mam, in this ghora karma, in this terrible field of action? Niyojayasi mam, why are you pushing me into it? Hey Keshava, another pet name. The more you want his support, the more pet names you call. Oh pal, oh buddy, oh gudu, oh honey. Why? You want to get something done, that is all. Sahasranama. We will call you by 100 different names, pet names. My blossom, honey. Why? I want to get something from you. Here you are, Krishna. In 2 lines, 2 different names are being used to address Krishna, which is a psychological thing. A man does it at all times. So then, in case you yourself consider that the path of meditation is the last leap to the reality, and thereafterwards man is transmuted into the God's own form, then why are you unnecessarily pushing me into this horrible, terrible, tragic, miserable, sad situation? Fight, fight, fight! Why? I think there is no quarrel between us. I also want to meditate. You yourself say meditation is the highest. So then why don't we drive on? Why this discussion at all? When a Vedantic student asks a question to a teacher, the teacher is in the horns of a dilemma. The teacher cannot show great appreciation for the student or express the appreciation. How intelligent this question is. I congratulate you, my son, that you have got the question. And I am afraid that he is the only one who is nobody else has the doubt. If you say, that boy can never get any more benefit from that teacher. Human psychology is so involute, so involved. The boy, when the teacher congratulates him, the boy looks backwards to the whole classroom. Are they all listening? You see that? The teacher is confirming that I am a genius. I hope everybody understood. His vanity is tickled. Thereafter, whatever the teacher talks, the boy can never be benefited by it because he is thinking only in terms of what is the next intelligent question I can manufacture out of what the teacher said. Think of it. If your preoccupation is not to understand what he is talking and heave your mind in that direction, but you are manufacturing, fabricating a new doubt, which when placed, the teacher shall again tap my back. Another question. You are the only one who can ask such beautiful question. That student can never be benefited. Supposing, on the other hand, the teacher swings to the other end. What a stupid question that you have manufactured. Out of the filth of your own mind, I think. Wherever you are at tangent, can't you not think proper? If you say that, the fellow feels so cowed down. Thereafter, that teacher cannot help him because whenever honest doubt comes, he has no courage to ask the question, isn't it? Real valid doubt came. He says, why disturb the hornet's nest? He's a terrible guy. If I ask the question, he will again jump at me, Let us sit down, never mind, one doubt. And thus your entire knowledge is sprinkled with, peppered with doubts. That is not wisdom. So the poor teacher is in the horns of a dilemma. He cannot appreciate him, he cannot reject him or criticize him. Now, you think of it, a situation where you can't appreciate nor show any depreciation or any disgust for the individual. All that you can do is make your face wooden, neutral. When this blank and neutral face the student sees on the teacher's head, the student is asking a question. When he is sincerely asking a question and wants an answer, his eyes are on the face of the teacher, because whether the teacher is grasping it. Is he able to gauge what I am asking him? So you are looking at him and you see a blank face. Whenever the student sees a blank face, thus on the face of the Vedantic teacher, the poor student in his vanity thinks that this old man never understands our standpoint. We, the teenagers, the children of the younger generation or the present generation, our intelligent questions this master can never understand. Now what to do? He is the only man who can answer me. Therefore, every one of us is tempted to annotate our own doubt. What I meant was, he thought, explain what exactly he meant. He expounds. There are some people who come to us to ask a doubt, and then they feel that we are not understood, therefore he explains. And he goes on explaining. And the teacher sits down continuously. And after half an hour of description, of his doubt, he himself doesn't know what is his doubt. And he gets away generally. Namaste, Swamiji. Meaning, he is happy that I heard his doubts and he made plenty of noise. There are some. Here, Arjuna, seeing that Krishna is not reacting to that question, so pointedly put, he feels that he has not understood, and therefore he gives one more verse as a comment upon his own previous question, to clarify his own question. He says, Vyamishredha, Mishritam, mixed. Vyamishritam, extremely mixed, confused, contradictory. Vakyena, words, statements. By contradictory statements, buddhi mohayasi me buddhi, my intellect, you mohayasi, you have deluded, successfully deluded. Congratulations, teacher. Before I had no such confusions. Now by your contradictory philosophy or statements, you have succeeded eminently to confuse my intellect thoroughly. Why Vyamishram? You at one breath you say that I must do all my duties in the world outside. In order to do my duties well, surely I must turn the attention of my mind and intellect into the world, the field of my action. Without that, how can I do my duty? If I come here and sit down in meditation lost, how will you understand what I am talking? If I want to do my duty as a speaker here, I must have my attention on every one of your faces. And which are the blank faces? Which are the intelligent faces? And to the blank face, how can I bring some color to it? So then I change my attitude and approach. Another example, until at last the dullest one also start a little reddish, pinkish color on the face. Oh, I see. Thus my attention cannot be there in the higher. I have to be here to do the duty well. You are asking me to do the karma yoga or turn the mind and attention here. Then in the end of it you say that the highest is reached in the moments of contemplation, when the mind and intellect's attention is taken away from OET completely, and with a total attention you contemplate upon that nature, when the mind withers away or disappears into that state of consciousness, that is the highest. So your two paths, the path of karma and jnana, or the path of knowledge or meditation, they seem to be contradictory paths, and you are recommending both of them. I can't understand. I can't understand. What is the idea? You say that, Swamiji, your heart is bad, and then you have got the bypass, and therefore you must take rest, more rest. I said, okay. But you must go in the morning for a brisk walk. And evening repeat it. A brisk walk. You must get, and careful, while you are walking, you should never get tired. But you must get pleasantly fatigued. Don't say that only philosophers confuse you. Even modern doctors confuse me completely. Where is the gauge? Where is the measurement of pleasantly fatigued and tired? I would like to know. So that if there is any gadabadal, he will say, you overdid. If there is no trouble, doctor will say, yes, pleasantly fatigued. That is only after the result that you can judge whether it is pleasantly fatigued or completely exhausted. You see, these are all the dusk or the dot, the vague gray areas where a definite thing cannot be said. Here, your philosophy, Swamiji or Krishna, you have successfully confused me. Because you have first said and always said that I must do my duties, where my mind and intellect's attention must be firmly here in order to fulfill their duties. And you say that the highest that man can reach is when the mind and intellect's attentions are gathered totally from here and turn the attention to the higher called contemplation, when in the intensity of contemplation you get absorbed into meditation, and there the mind withers away and you are awakened to the higher state of consciousness. Beautiful description. But both of them you are talking in the same mouth shamelessly. That is why a cowherd boy should not talk philosophy. We intelligent, the product of modern education, we know logically to think. You are a wrong guy. You know not what it is all talking. There is a contradiction inherent in your philosophical discourse. So stop it. Drive me to the Himalayas for meditation. I know what judgment to be taken. This is the attitude of that commander-in-chief of the Pandava forces, that army officer Arjuna. There is a contradiction. Tadekam vada. Therefore, can you please resolve this contradiction in your mind? And ekam vada, tell me only one thing. Do this. There you are. I am an army man. I have been trained from childhood onwards in the army orders. Army man knows only how to obey orders. Yours is but to do and die. Yours is not to question why. This is how he has been trained all his lifetime. If 10 people constituting a company and the sergeant is telling them, by the right, turn, they turn. March! They started marching. At that time, his major came. Yes, sir. The major said, is everybody ready? Everybody present? Everybody present, sir. And they are doing PT. Yes, sir. By that time, these small little company has reached the wall or the compound wall, let us say. Do you think that that man will there in the front will think that let us turn right and along the wall walk? No. What was the order? By the right, march! They march. And if they meet a wall, they will go up the wall and then march down. They will not take a discretionary power, a discretion of turning to the right or to the left, because order has not come. On the other side of the wall, it may be a tank. They will jump into it. And then again march right, left, left, right, and go on the other bank and go. This is what is in the army, training. So Arjuna says, don't give me choices. You may go forward. Suppose the headquarters says that, Captain, you may either go forward, but if you think that it is too risky, you may retire. Now the captain is confused. He may say, go forward, he will go. Even knowing that the entire company is going to die, he will go forward. But if you give him a choice, he may go forward or come back. Now he is old. Krishna, Arjuna himself admits, Ekam vada. Give me one command. If you democratize army and then say that by the right or left, turn. There will be no discipline. It must be one order and the whole thing must move on. Right. So, ekam vada, please reconcile this contradiction in your own mind and tell me only one thing. I'm here ready, in attention, to do what you're talking, but tell me one thing. Nishchitya, you decide in your own mind and tell me that. Yena, by which shreyo hamappunyam. Let us all, the entire community, come up in joy, peace, prosperity, goodness, that which is the welfare of the world, that path, please show me. I am rather confused, and your philosophy has confused me all the more. You decide one way and please give me a guide, direction. When he thus said, Krishna starts and said, my dear child, it is not that I am taking out of him and shooting you from the hip just to win a point in our discussion. But what I have told you are all in our ancient, well-determined, ancient scriptures of the Vedic period, confirmed and reconfirmed generation after generation by the mighty masters who have successfully walked the path by these processes. I am not giving anything new. And the Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Lokesmin vividhanishta.
Lokesmin vividhanishta.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Pura
prokta maya nagha. Jnana yogena sankhyanam.
Jnana
yogena sankhyanam. Karma yogena yoginam. Karma yogena yoginam.
Krishna tries to answer him. This doubt of Arjuna is also the doubt of all the modern Western world regarding Hinduism. The Western Semitic tradition has taught them one God, one book, and one way. You are soaked in it from childhood onwards. When you turn to Hinduism, you find endless battalion-wide population of gods. Honest. I can very well sympathize unless you are born or well understood the tradition. It is so contradicted. And many ways. And which is your Bible? Our children are asked by all others, inquisitiveness. The Indian children go there in the school, they ask, what is your Bible? Now he doesn't know. So he comes to the father and asks, what is the Bible? Now the father is equally confused. Why? It is not a Bible, but it is a library of books. All right, if you don't know who is the Bible, what is your Bible? At least tell me, who is your prophet? Who is your master? Who gave you the Bible? This art of science of living. Who gave it to you? Just as Christ gave Christianity, Muhammad gave Islam, what is this? Buddha gave Buddhism, Mahavir gave Jainism. In every other religion there is a prophet. In Hinduism, which is the prophet? We have got, you are confused. And you feel shy also. How to tell them and make them understand that. So generally you say that, I don't know anything about Hinduism because I am an atheist. And you become an atheist to protect your ignorance, and that is all. I don't mind. You need not feel so shy. When anybody asks you, who is your prophet? You ask him. I will tell you, sir, who is exactly our prophet, when I know who is the author of physics. If he is a physicist, engineering, who is the author of engineering? The science of engineering. What a silly question. Only an underdeveloped or developing nation can ask this question. You know nothing about science. What are you talking? Science is not the one author. It is many, many authors worked in many, many directions. Each had a clean result. All of them compiled together. So it is not one author. The theorems of many put together. That is physics. If that be so, it is not the passing opinion of one single individual that constitute my Bible, but ours is a science of living, contributed by endless number of known and unknown masters, each investigated in one direction, and saw a glimmer of the beauty infinite, and he explained that. All of them put together is the sign of Vedanta. You get what I'm talking? I am not trying to condemn one to the other. Whether it is one master said or 20 masters said, the thing is the same. The path is the same. I mean, the goal is the same. Now, paths when it comes. In the Semitic religion, there is only one way. That way that Jesus has pointed out, or Muhammad has indicated, or Buddha has shown. One way. Come to Hinduism, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Japa Yoga. Not eating yoga, eating yoga. What all varieties. Every guru gives one yoga. Now you get confused, you need none. All of them fall under the three categories, the Jnana, Bhakti and Karma, because the mankind falls under the three types, the body-oriented people, majority, the emotionally oriented people, large number, and a few highly intellectual and rational. Therefore, the three paths have been given. Here Krishna says the same thing. Lokesmin, asmin loke, in this world, dvividha nishtha, two paths, ways, pura prokta mayanaka. Oh, attentive student, Arjuna is attentive. Please understand that. These two paths have been given out by me in the Vedic period itself. What two paths have been shown? It is not that I am just now creating it for meeting or answering your problem or to win a point over you, but it has been there in the tradition for thousands of years, accepted, tested, acclaimed, confirmed by the great masters who have walked ahead and reached the goal earlier in history. Here are the two valid paths, and both of them are equally valid. Why two paths then? That is what Arjuna cannot understand. Jnana yogena sankhyana. Jnana yoga, the path of contemplation, meditation, are to those people who have tuned up their mind and intellect and become highly rational. And karma yogena yogina. Karma yoga to those who are restless. Want this, want that, want this, and I want to do that, can't keep quiet. Even if you ask you to keep quiet, at least the leg must go on. Anything. And this is the nature of the majority. That doesn't mean that you are not listening. That is why in international conferences, in great directors' meetings, in all such cases you will find round the table, the great mighty intellect sits down and weighty problems are discussed, but everybody is given a scrapbook and a pencil. When that great destinies of the humanity has been discussed and determined and decided and they have gone away, look at those scrapbooks, then you will understand. They have done noodles, they are all over. Pages after pages of it. Painted pictures. One foot there, one hand there, one leg here, one eye there, one thigh here, and too many thighs. He himself doesn't know that he has done it. He was all the time attending to it, very seriously, but he's handed. Why? If you don't give the scrapbook, within 3 meetings or 4 meetings, the table will be in a sad condition because you have already scratched the paint away from it. You can't keep quiet. To keep quiet is the most difficult thing. You can keep quiet and sleep. That is possible. To sit quietly and alert, mind to good force is one of the most difficult things. So karma yoga is for the majority. Arjuna, you have got too many vasanas. At this moment, if you go for meditation, you will not be able to, because the pressure of the vasana will bring your mind only into the world outside. Through karma yoga, without ego and egocentric desires, when you act on in the world outside, it will be unloaded. To the extent you are unloading it, the mind is relatively quiet. Quiet and alert mind starts the meditation. And as you contemplate or meditate or turn your attention inward, the more and more vasanas are burnt up. Therefore, the pressure is still reduced. Therefore, the mind's running out into the world outside is still curtailed. The mind gathers more and more momentum in its attentiveness and start rising more and more in contemplation. Please do it. This is not that I am trying to, all the time, when Krishna was thus explaining, the teacher is trying to understand what can be the difficulty in the student. Why is he that he is confused? What is the source of this doubt in his mind? Why did the doubt at all come to his mind? It must be with reference to something that he has already known. Because a doubt is when the new idea cannot be accepted by the existing ideas in me. So I will try to find out what could be the doubt in you. And if I can rightly anticipate and explain that, the new idea with reference to your ideas, immediately you feel the present idea and my existing knowledge are bridged together. The doubt is cleared. The unbridged gulf between what I now know and the new idea presented is called a doubt. I appreciate the idea, but I doubt. It has not become mine. I cannot reach there and exploit. So then he started thinking, what is the wrong notion in his mind that could have brought about this stink of a doubt in his mind? Suddenly he remembers. Now a little digression, without which the entire import of it you may not enjoy. The masters of the scriptures, whether it is Bible or Quran or Upanishads, are all great contemplative masters who through contemplation has risen above the BMI and has realized that great state. So the masters through contemplation, contemplative masters through contemplation has reached that state. The students like you and I, we go to the teacher and ask about that state. That is, the answer to it is the scriptures. What is God? What is the reality? What is that essence? When does the student desire? As a student, when we ask the question, you and I are fully merged or engrossed in our rational thinking level. So to a man who is already entangled in the intellect, he is asking the question of that which lies beyond the intellect to a contemplative teacher. How will that contemplative teacher communicate that knowledge? So the contemplative teacher must first of all train the students to become contemplative. And it is only in contemplation that the master and the teacher and the taught, master and the student can together rise or glide into these states of realization. Then the student understands, not with the intellect, but in his own experience. I am idam. This is the thought to that one. But at this moment, we are on the intellectual level. The teacher honestly should tell us that, sorry, you can never understand the reality. Because it is not at the intellectual level, it is beyond the intellect. If the teacher is thus honest and tell us, we feel terribly insulted. Because all our knowledge and achievement today is the play of the intellect. And you say that intellect is useless. Beyond that, beyond that. That is you are just bluffing only. And you walk out. The poor teacher has to come down to the level of the intellect. And in terms of the intellect's language, must indicate that which lies beyond the intellect. Therefore, if the teacher says that you must transcend the BMI and the vasanas, the student will protest. He wants to know, give me a definition. What is that? How will the teacher talk? That is that. That is all that the teacher can say. You have to, in meditation, reach there, then you will understand that is that. But sitting here comfortably in the bedroom or the drawing room, you want to know, what is that? Swamiji, explain. Now what will the Swamis do? Now these rishis have found out beautiful phrases, which sounds as a definition. But in reality it is an indication. They said, that's it, simple. It is a state of vasana-lessness. No, it sounds as if it's a positive definition, but it is not. It is only the other way, beyond the vasanas. Beyond the vasanas, then you say, what? What are you talking? It is a positive language. It is a state of vasana-lessness. So in Vedic literature, very often it is said, it's vasana-lessness. Which means, vasana becomes desire. So, vasana-lessness also means it is a desirelessness state. Because the boys start understanding, because desire is his experience. Or the desire creates agitations. Therefore, agitationlessness, thoughtlessness is that idea. In terms of the physical body, how will you explain that? At the body level, vasana expresses as action. So then, vasana-lessness means actionlessness. Isn't it? Now, when you and I hear actionlessness, we say, that is our path. Why? I like a continuous weekend. A weekend that extends from Monday to Monday. Ayya! You understand? Thus, there is a word in the Vedic period or Vedic literature used as Naishkarmya. Karma, action. Naishkarmya, the state of actionlessness. This word, a poor boy had heard from the teacher. And the word speaks to him exactly as he wants. So after retirement, when my children are all grown up and my duties are over, I shall retire with my insurance money and comfortable spiritual life. What is it? Action. All the Hindu culture broke down for the last about 300 to 350 years because of this word, actionlessness. So that all Mahatmas started sitting down without any action. So no serving the society, nothing. Wait, what is perfection? Action. Thus the Naishkarmya word was misunderstood by the student. Therefore the teacher points out, Nakarmana.
Naishkarmyam purusho shnute.
Na karmana manarambha. This state of Naishkarmya, this state that is indicated by the masters with the label, the state of actionlessness. How are you to reach? Simple. How will you reach the state of actionlessness on a Sunday? Stop going to the office. And then in the house also refuse to do any work which the wife says. What is it? Vacation, holiday. And I don't want to do anything. He says, come on, the lawns are in a terrible condition, come on. Afternoon I'll do. In the afternoon, come on, in the evening I'll do. In the evening, today I am very tired. No, not doing anything. And whatever that you are doing, you drop it. Where will you reach? Actionlessness. Arjuna has understood this way. Krishna, anticipating it, tells him, Na karmanam anarambhad. Karma, action. Arambha, beginning. Na karmanam anarambhad. By refusing to undertake any new work or duty. Naishkarmyam na purushaha ashnute. Man can never reach that state we indicated in the scriptures by the word actionlessness. Arjuna, you think that by not fighting, you are reaching the reality. By not meeting your challenges in life, you are not reaching religion. Please. Running away from the marketplace is not the way to reach or enter the church. The higher is not reached by running away from the present problems. By dropping things, you don't reach there. Dropouts, or else dropouts should be great seers and masters. And you know that you have seen it in the 60s, late 60s and 70s. The dropouts became mentally so upset that for a little peace of mind they had to go for drugs. Because their vasanas pressurize them to work. And they say, I want, as a protest. And therefore mind is restless, though physically doing nothing except cultivating beards. Drop out from college, from work, from duties, from society, from community, from anything good. Drop out. Then what will you do? You can't remain in that condition because the pressure of the vasanas. So the intellect and the mind says, come on, do something, but no, I won't do it. No, but no, you must do something. No, I'm not going to. If you don't do it, no, who is damning yourself? You are damning yourself. Never mind. Until at last, a little drug, you sleep in one corner. Some peace, mental peace. You cannot. So by dropping what you are doing, you cannot reach that state indicated by the term Naishkarmya. Actionlessness. Nacha sanyasanadeva. Nor can you reach there by just giving up what you are now doing. Resign the job. Tomorrow morning, one piece of paper. I'm sorry. I'm going away. Full stop. Come home and sit down. Are you spiritualized life? Because actionlessness. You cannot. Neither by not taking any new action, nor by giving up the present action that you are taking. You cannot reach that state indicated as actionlessness. Siddhim samadhigacchati. You cannot thereby reach siddhi, the actual achievement or the higher state. You cannot reach that by not doing work in the world outside or by not undertaking any new work, nor by giving up what you are doing. You cannot reach this actionlessness. something rings in our mind because psychologically we know it. But the Arjuna, being a man of action, a skeptic, he will not accept an idea like that, half-cooked idea. His question in his mind would be, why not? Why not? That is the easiest path. Stop all activity. Drop all the activities that you have been doing. Drop all activities that you are undertaken now. And don't undertake any more new activity because I am retired. Thereby do you think that you reach the reality? Then it means idleness is idolized in Vedanta, in philosophy. Then those people who are unemployed and unemployable, who drinks beer from morning 7 a.m. onwards, they must be all men of realization. They don't undertake any work. And they cannot stop from working because there is no work in Vedanta. Only work is to drink beer. Do you think that those people are perfect masters? How did you come to this misconception? Because of the word meaning, actionlessness. This state of actionlessness must come because of no thoughtlessness, and the thoughtlessness must arise because of desirelessness, and the desirelessness is not suppression of desires, but there is no spring, no more vasanas to bring about vasanalessness. But not understanding it correctly, the word is misunderstood and you thought that you can reach there. Krishna says, you cannot. No one person can reach that higher state of inner tranquility and equipoise by not undertaking any new work or by giving up the present work that you are doing. The skeptic will not accept it. He will have the question immediately in his mind. Why not? Krishna, anticipating it, answers, Nahi kaschit.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Jatu tishtatya karma krit.
Jatu tishtatya karma krit.
Karyate hyavashat karma.
Karyate hyavashat karma.
Sarva prakriti jai gunaihi.
Nahi kaschit. No one can. Then the teacher is answering. The student just precipitates the doubt. Why not? And the teacher answers. Nahi kaschit. This is the universal law. What? No one can. Kaschit. No one can. Kshanamapi. Even for a kshana. Even for a second. Jatu, ever. No one can. Even for a moment. Ever. Tishtatya akarma krita. Can sit akarma krita without doing work. Try. Nobody can. If you don't work in the office, you will be working at home. Creating problem after problem. And she asks, how many more days are you off? So this problem will go away. Children I can manage, but there is a big boy in the house. Supposing, say, no, Swamiji, I am not going to work, but I am going to sleep. Or lie down. You may be lying down, physically you are not working, but are you not at that time working mentally and intellectually? Emotional, intellectual thinking? All right, I am going to sleep. Then I am not working at all. You may not be working, but the involuntary working is going on. Is not your heart thudding? Is not your digestion going on? Excretions going on? Breathing going on? All right, Swamiji, if that way you say, suppose I stop that also. You will make us all very active. To bury you. What are you talking? Nobody can, so long as he is living. No individual can, even for a moment, ever remain without activity. And supposing something, I try. Don't try unnecessarily. Everyone who is, everything that is falling down will fall down, attracted by the gravity, 32 feet per second per second. But Swamiji, maybe in the night there may not be this attraction. Why not I try from the third floor? Welcome, bye-bye. You see, there is no time, no time, you cannot, don't try even. Why not? Karyate hi avasha karma. You will be made to do work. Avasha, you are helpless. You may say that I am not going to work and you retire. You cannot remain that. If you have got vasanas, you cannot keep quiet. Because this nature, you have taken this form to express them, and you say that I am not going to. Avasha, you are helpless about it. You will be made to do work. Sarva, everyone, no exception. Prakriti jair gunai. By who is going to compel me? Let me see, who will compel me? Prakriti jair gunai. Guna, the three gunas, the sattvic, rajasic and tamasic vasanas in you, born out of the play of matter, the BMI functioning in the world of OET, in your past actions. The vasanas that have, residual vasanas that are there already in you, the tendencies in you, they come one by one, force you and compel you to act. There is no meaning in yourself saying that I have retired. You may retire here and you will go there. Many people in India, Rama, you get a little worried because your pay is not sufficient to meet both ends together, and therefore debts are increasing, children are also equally increasing, and then prices in the market going up, and then 2 years the rain was dropped and therefore the agriculture went on. Suddenly you hear Mother Ganga calling you, come, come. The fellow leaves his wife and children here and escapes, goes away to the Himalayas. The family is in trouble. He has created an ulcer in the community. But in our community, it's not the government that interferes or steps in at that time, but the whole community helps them as best as they can. An uncle or a nephew or a uncle, they take charge of it and say, we will look after it, don't worry. Now, the man has gone to the Himalayas. Good. And he has ran away from the problems of OET. Very good. And what is his intention? Honest intention is to live in under a master and study all the scriptures and turn his mental attention to the higher and realize the highest truth for the benefit of my family also. A share of it. In 1 year's time, there he starts building a small little hut. The hut becomes a house. The house becomes all conveniences. With all conveniences are there, I want somebody to look after it. So the neighbor's lady comes there to sweep. First it goes on only sweeping outside, then cleaning inside, then cooking a little. So you cook a little more for yourself also, both of us will eat together. And a rainy day, why go? You sleep here in the drawing room. From the drawing room to the bedroom, it is not very far away. So that by the time that father of mine who has gone to the Himalayas in 14 years, we don't know what he did, and now I hear that he has died. There comes a demand in the law court that he has got 3 children there also. Now you and I may laugh at him. He renounced everything. What has he renounced? Whether he is here in the marketplace or in the Himalayan valleys, vasanas are the same. You can't blame him. It comes. So until the vasanas are exhausted or weakened, you cannot meditate. And in meditation, yes, you can remove all of them, true. But so long as vasanas are there, you are compelled to do what you are doing. There is no escape to it. You are pre-conditioned or pre-programmed to be what you are. You know, instead of pre-programmed, then you accept it. Oh yes, pre-programmed. Oh, that I can understand. Now, predestination, you start feeling, oh no, how am I destined like that? Predestination doesn't mean that Bhagavan is sitting there and writing tragic stories in all heads. That you will suffer, everybody suffer. You know, he writes only tragic stories. What is it? In between he throws $1 million also. You will get $1 million and then a good wife and 2 children. But the children will give you sorrow. The wife will never give you satisfaction. There you are. Ultimately, when you take the balance sheet, it is always in the red. You poured so much into life and what you got is nothing compared to it. The Lord feels very happy that I made a sucker of the fellow. Bas. This is all. Is this? No, is when, if I understand that I myself did it wrongly programmed, and therefore I have to now deprogram and reprogram myself, it becomes very intelligent. You are still the master. The computer is not the master. He is a convenience for me. But the computer has itself no intelligence. I supply to him. And if I am a fool, I will supply my foolishness so that the computer echoes back my past foolishness very elaborately in the present answers. See that? It is all your own. Thus the Krishna says, don't think that by dropping all things and running away into the Himalayas or the cave or a monastery or a group, you will go different. A retreat now and then is good. To take stock of yourself and understand how much of the greater value I am able to live is good. And try to live it back again in your own field of action. In order that the student may understand it, Krishna feels that he has not understood. In ordinary conversation, we always find that if an idea that I am trying to impart to you, you are not getting it, we generally try to picturize it. If you do this you become. If you don't do those things, this will be your future. If I paint it as 2 pictures, it goes into the mind. My son is failing in all exams. The 3rd year also I ask him, Sonny, I heard that your results have come. What is your result this year? Pap, I have repeated last year's performance. Meaning last year I failed, and I failed again. A teacher becomes a student, a master, father becomes really angry and say, come Sonny, sit down here. Now look, it is true that you are the son of your mother and that is why I have got a special corner. Okay? Now, it is also true that you have got only one and one son only. Now next year, I give you 1 more year for the sake of your mother. If you pass the exam, I will see that you get a medical college admission. And you can in 5 years' time become another doctor like me and take up my practice and my work. And I can retire and I go to India. You can live beautifully as I am now living. But, is the picture 1? In case you fail, I will perhaps invest another $300. get you a handcart and cut you off from me, that I don't want any more your shadow to fall at my threshold. You understand, Sonny? Now too pictorial, the son thinks, it's becoming very serious. So I have to pass. If I fail, he will cut me off from his legacy. I have been a long time watching the performance of Chinmaya Mission, so I will dedicate all the money to Chinmaya Mission. Sonny, you can go and hang yourself. And you and your father and mother, I and your mother, we will go to India and stay in Swamiji's ashram. When to the severe pictures are given, chances are that however thick the cranium may be, some vague notion might go into that thoughtless man's intellect. Here the same program or process is followed. Krishna says, Karmendriyani
Samyamya Ya aste manasa smaran Indriyathan vimudhatma Nityacharasya uchyate
Picture one, Karmendriyan, the sense organs that we have got in our body are of two kinds. The organs of perception, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, 5 windows through which we receive the external stimuli. And whatever be our intellectual response to it, we can express it out in the world outside through the organs of action. And they too are only 5. Nobody has got a 6th instrument. And they are the organ or the instrument of speech, hands, legs, genital organs, and the anus are the 5 points in the physical body through which I can express my responses to the world outside. And the 5 points or the instruments through which I gather knowledge of the outer world are called organs of perception, Jnanendriya, and Karmendriya, organs of action. Now the teacher says, Karmendriyani Samyamya. Karmendriya, the instruments of action, hands and legs, all kept and silent. Speech also, everything quiet, you keep them. An individual who never lifts his little finger to serve his neighbor, quietening all instruments of action. Outwardly, anybody can misunderstand him to be a great meditator. A Buddha, living Buddha under the tree, because he is doing nothing. He is not even moving. Closed eyes. But an individual who thus quietens all his instruments of action by which he can bless the society, quietens them, refuses them to do any work at all, but as he sits, manasa smaran, you think of yourself. You sit down quietly for 5 minutes. You can physically sit quietly for 5 minutes. But manasa, by the mind, you immediately start smarana, remembering. What? Indriyarthan, the objects of sense organs. Isn't it? You start remembering that in that marriage the pudding was good. That place, the picture was good. This, that girl, I don't know where she has gone now. It's a long time I have met her. Physically, you're quiet. Mind is still wandering in the sense pleasures that you had in the past. Remembering them. planning future possibilities, dissipating the mind. You sit quiet, but the mind is still in the sense objects or the world outside. Sa vimudhatma, that foolish person, mithyachara sauchari, he is called in the Vedic literature as mithyachara. Achara, conduct. Mithyachara, false conduct. Others think that he is meditating, but himself is sensuously enjoying or indulging in thought. He is cheating himself. He is not cheating others. Others, tourists come and see you sitting down, therefore he takes one photo and he runs. Because he is an American tourist. If he doesn't run there also in the various places, he won't catch the next plane. Because he has got only 10 days and he has to see around the world. So all that he can see is not see, but look at things and click. Hoping that one day in America, I will get some time when I shall look into these things carefully and see them. The American tourists never see things. They only look at things. And their satisfaction is, I've got it. In the camera, I've got it. Never mind. One day I will look into it. And by the time come here and give it to the cleaning, and the copies have come. You have not the time yet to see it, because that needs a little time. Mithyachara. Such an individual may, a visitor or a tourist may take a photograph of you, because physically you seem to be sitting in meditation. But the great masters say such an individual is a mithyachara, false conduct, meaning hypocrite. He cannot have any spiritual unfold. In fact, he is exhausting himself more. He is a perverted individual he becomes, because mentally he is indulging, physically not indulging. Even if you physically indulge, but the mind is on the higher, it is a healthy thing. There is nothing wrong in it. But to dissipate mentally is to exhaust the mind and make it more and more weak day by day, so that it is only cheating yourself. So the picture number one, so those who are physically not doing the work, but mentally entering into the field of activity or sensuality, such an individual is an individual of self-dissipation, which is a dangerous thing. As a contrast to it, he tells you how to live. He points out,
Yasvindriyani manasa.
Yasvindriyani manasa.
Niyam yarabhate Arjuna. Karmendriyai karma yogam. Asaktasya vishishyate.
on the other hand, yahatu, whoever he be, he who indeed, indriyani manasani, the sense organs of perception, the eyes, ears, tongue, skin, are all controlled by his own mind. Controlled by the mind means sense organs need not be controlled. They are already well controlled. My eyeballs will never leave my eye socket. My nose never leaves my face. Then what is it? My mind leaks out through the eyes. And that is the trouble. Similarly, nose gets a scent and then my mind rolls out in search of from where it is coming, direction, what it can be. What is cooking? The mind runs. Now when the mind is turned to your deep study, let us say, merging your music, in whatever way, when the mind is turned at the altar of a great dedication, The sense organs are controlled. When my mind, we have nothing higher, but I am worried, I'm sitting down, how to get more dollars. At that time, you, my friend, pass by and you say, hi, I never heard you, never see you. In the evening I meet you and I jump at you, hey, it's a long time that we have seen, and you are angry with me. When you are sitting there, I went by and said hi and you never said, returned hi. I am supposed to make the same animal noise when you make that noise. Hi, hi. And I tell him, by God I tell you, I really tell you, I never saw you. When you said hi, I never heard. Never heard? Are you deaf? In the daytime when I was passing, you say you didn't see me? Your eyes were open and looking in my direction. Deliberately you wanted to insult me, bas. And you say, then you tell him, look, the trouble is that my wife doesn't want me anymore. She wants a separation, and I am worried about it. And I was sitting there and thinking, I just came from the lawyer, and the lawyer, at that time that you must have passed, I was sitting there worried about it. Oh, darling, I never understood it. Oh, never, sorry for your cousin. But when I am thus, my mind is engaged in some worry terribly. My sense organs are all under control, I tell you. I may look, but I won't see. I may hear, but I don't understand. I may smell, but it doesn't register there. Why? You are all involved in that thinking. That's a greatest artist days old, fun working on a big masterpiece. He won't hear any tram noise or any noise or noise pollution, nothing. He would know whether he is hungry or not. Playing cards, that is sufficient, if you are a card player. There is no time for you. That is game. And now you collect again, shuffle again. There you go. Days pass by, nights pass by, you forget to go to the bathroom unless she comes and reminds you. Why don't you go? Honestly. And only then you say, yes, you are right, darling, I want to go. Run there. Even your own bladder you don't know. Mind it. Thus, my friends, sense organs controlled doesn't mean that I won't see anything. I plug my ears, plug my nose. It is not that. It's the mind that is to be controlled. If mind is not controlled, even if you control the sense organs, is useless. I am walking along the road. Against me is coming a beautiful shape, exposing all the important portions, let us say. I suddenly, vaguely saw from a distance. Being a spiritual student, I decided that is a dangerous thing. Therefore, I looked the other side and walked. But all the time my mind was, it is coming, it is coming, it is coming. It is gone. You understand? Now you go home. Do you think that you are peaceful? Your mind, I should have looked at it once at least. I don't know when I will see her again. Who is she? I don't know. But it's much better. It is not the sense organ, it is a mind. And you carry that memory for days together. Had you looked at it and dropped it, then it is a beautiful one, but it has got a squint eye. You drop it. So simple. Instead of that, you said Puritan. I want to look at it. But it is the sense organs did not look at it, but the mind imagined it. It is a mind to be controlled. And mind can be controlled only when it has got some fascinating ideal to hook on. Thus, through manasa, by the mind, when the sense organs are controlled, niyamya arabhade Arjuna, that fellow or individual who enters into every theatre of activity. But his sense organs are well controlled. Sense organs controlled means he is constantly remembering his ideal, whatever that ideal be, not necessarily spiritual, science or art or literature or economics or politics. His ideal constantly centered in that ideal. When he thus acts on in the world outside, karmendriyaihi karma yoga, through the organs of action, hands, legs, etc., he acts, does his work with his sense organs well under control, meaning mind is centered in the ideal with highest concentration, mind aware, the hands are working, not mind wandering and hands working. And you make a slipshod third-rate work, and if anybody says, why is it that, I am sorry, I will do it again. Again do it means repeat the same mistakes. It's not you don't know it, your mind wanders. To learn to put the mind where the hands are working is the secret of efficiency, secret of success. And in so doing, you are developing your spiritual powers or preparing the mind for the spiritual act of meditation and contemplation. Anyone who does turning the mind into the ideal and thus controlling the sense organs of perception, putting forth all your energy, pouring out all your energy through the organs of action and enters into theatres of activity. Such an individual, savishishyade, I consider that such an individual is any day nobler than the fool who runs away from the theatre of activity and tries to sit down quietening the mind. I'm quietening the body, but not quietening the mind because he cannot. The pressure of the vasanas will push it back again. In short, Arjuna, don't try to run away from this field. You have the warring vasana. You have exhibited it. You have trained it to the maximum. And it is because of that that the public have requested you, elected you or selected you to be the commander-in-chief of the Pandava forces. Here is a beautiful field where you are entered all these proficiencies and efficiencies that you have cultivated all these years. You can pour it out. Do it without ego and egocentric desires and just exhaust them in this battle. Win the battle. Throw it away without a regret and go to the Himalayas. Your mind is already prepared for meditation. In the quietude of that place, you can reach heights. Krishna, it is immaterial to him who wins the war. It is immaterial, it is not his war. He is not got one naya paisa interest in it, one cent interest in it. He has not invested anything in that war. He has nothing to gain out of it. Yet he is anxious, that student, that child, Arjuna, should know that he must, is a beautiful chance for you to exhaust your vasanas. Make the mind contemplative, to contemplate upon the divine. The student has got yet another doubt. Till now when we were saying, we were discussing, we were saying that when BMI confronts the world of OET, those confrontations are called the physical, the mental, the intellectual activities or work. And whenever we are doing the work, more and more vasanas are created. This is the thesis from which we started, the premise. Arjuna is holding on to it. And even though Krishna has so beautifully explained, there is not that bloom of the face that he has understood it. He has still some doubt lurking in the mind. To anticipate the type of doubt that can happen in the student's mind, and to answer it is the glory of a true teacher. The teacher, when he is in perfect communion with a student, really understands that possibly his mind, because he knows his mind's working so well, most probably this will be the next doubt, and he anticipates it and answers. The student who is logically thinking will come to the same doubt, and when the teacher answers, his respect and reverence for the teacher increases because he understands that, oh, this is the doubt that I had, and he is answering. Now the doubt possibility at this juncture in our explanation could be only in the Arjuna's mind that you yourself are telling me that when we are acting in the world outside, the vasanas will be created. You say that vasanas to be exhausted, and now you are advising. How am I to exhaust the vasanas? By karma yoga. Is it not a contradiction? When I am doing karma yoga again, I am acting in the world outside. Already I have got vasanas. When I do the work there, I am not creating more vasanas, more hang-ups. This kind of a doubt might arise in the mind. Therefore, anticipating it, the teacher answers. Oh, wait a minute. Before that, I am anticipating too much. Now at this juncture, the student's doubt is, okay, work I must do. You seem to be a very good lawyer. You have somehow convinced me. My first idea was not to work is spirituality. Drop out from everything. I will drop into the lap of the Lord. That was my idea. Now you say that since I have come into the theatre of activity, I must work. Okay. Now the question is, what work should I do? Should I search for a work in a temple or a church or a mosque? Because very near there. My present activity is chopping meat. That is not a divine. Should I not search then change of my situation, a new job, and should I retire and resign? Should I stay there in the city, or should I go into the inland, some quiet place near a river? This is the pictorial idea, a monastery. Where should I work? Now the great intelligence who have put us, each one of us, in our own environment, with a wife, without a wife, with money, without a money, with success, without a success, it's all measured quantities. Each one is directly under his gaze. It is not accidental. When wife is all right, children are not all right. When the children are all right, the wife is not all right. When wife and children are all right, job gone. Job and wife and children are there, the neighbors are terrible people. When neighbors are also good, it comes from the relations at home. It will come. When all these things are all right, you collapse. You are taken to the hospital. This is called life. Why are you protesting against it? So that each one, then why? It is necessary, unavoidable. Your personality requires that exact amount of joy, then a little sorrow, and a little joy, and a little success, and a little failure. It is all necessary. Poor man is trying to polish your mind. It's a disgusting job, but he is trying his level best. And you start saying, no, you are unnecessarily giving. Every child, every one of you, as a baby, must have protested that if this mummy is not here, I will be happy. Why? She is giving me bath unnecessarily. And rubbing it, and afterwards, drying up the hair, terrible, painful thing, and putting soap. Every child weeps. Will the mummy stop it? Okay, baby, no more bath for you. Why unnecessary crying? Child cries, mummy goes on talking, and she does what should be done. There is no question of it, isn't it? Giving medicine. To give medicine to a baby Even the sight is abominable. Make the child lie down and you put your leg on the top of it and put it and it goes by the wrong way. I don't know how it is, but the mother is very peaceful. And the baby wants to get up. Wait, another spoon. Then she could take a bigger spoon. I don't know why, but twice it must be given. And the child screams. No child takes the medicine all right. I mean, smilingly. Not even the father of the child takes the medicine smilingly. You have to force it and compel it. But they don't leave you. There is no escape. Similarly, we are also angry with God that I don't know why He has no eyes at all and I am such a good man and I am being roasted unnecessarily. It is cooking you for benefit, for your own tasty and to increase your own beauty. Right. So then Arjuna has got a feeling that, okay, then what field should I work? Most beautifully, the teacher points out, which is applicable to all of us. The entire humanity, irrespective of the caste or the creed, the beliefs or the non-beliefs, here is the answer to that question.
Niyatam kuru karmatvam
Niyatam kuru karmatvam
karmajyayo karmanaha
karmajyayo karmanaha
sharira yatra pichate
sharira yatra pichate
na prasidyeda karmanaha.
Just as in the objective sciences, the entire mineral world has been classified. To observe, to analyze and to classify is the job of the scientist. That is his work. And he is extremely efficient in it. The entire mineral world has been classified as so many elements. The entire plant kingdom has been classified. No specimen can be taken, which if you have got the knowledge, cannot be classified under one of the families that they have already made. Is it not? The entire animal kingdom has been classified. So many families, in the family, so many species, in the species, so many groups, and so many groups, and so many specimens. Everything has been classified. The objective scientists, it is their job to do that. The subjective scientist also has got a job. And they are not desperate about it. They also calmly went about it, even though there the specimens are more to classify. Thus, all possibilities of human endeavor or activities. What I act and how I act is different from every one of you. Every individual is a unique entity. Each one of us acts differently. Infinite are the possibilities of action. In quality, in texture, in effort, in ideal, in content, in proficiency, in efficiency, different words. Infinite is the number. Any scientist would get despaired. How can I classify them all? Think very carefully. The total possibility of human activities have been classified by the masters. First, as two sections. Activities that are an insult to your evolution as a human rational being, nishidya karma. Activities that are disgusting or not up to the mark, not adding dignity to the status of your evolutionary development, nishidya, despicable activities. And those activities that are noble, again fall under two categories. obligations or duties that are incumbent upon each one of us every day, and duties that have come to us on special occasions. Is it not? Think. Each one of us has got certain duty towards ourselves, then our own kith and kin, our wife and children, father and mother, then our community, society or community, then there is that state or the nation, towards the world. Thus each one of us have got different sets of duties towards the world outside and to ourselves. To ourselves, nutritive food, the right time, necessary amount of exercise, the right kind of amount of rest, studies, equip yourself better and better. These are the duties to yourself. And these you have to do every day. Swamiji, every day should I take a bath? That seems to be the philosophy of some people. Morning he feels, why should I take a bath? Anyway, I'm going to become dirty now, when I go for work, and I will take a bath in the evening. And evening when you come home, what does it matter? It is only I alone, nobody else is in the house. I am a lonely man. Why take a bath unnecessarily? Tomorrow morning again the philosophy starts, and therefore it goes on until at last it becomes a moving tragedy for the all others, not himself. These are the duties you have to do every day. Wash your mouth every day. Every day I must do it, Swamiji. Every day eat. Swamiji, every day I must eat. You have to. There are certain things you have to do. Every day go to the office. Swamiji, if only this weekend will extend from Sunday to Sunday, how nice it would be. Nobody wants to work. It's a human being. Nature is given the chance, I will sleep. But I have to work and earn and go to the shopping and bring the things and look after your family. Every day, Swamiji, I am tired of it. There is no question of time. Tired, then immediately take a gun and shoot off or hang yourself. So long as we are living, there are duties that are incumbent upon us every day. Generally, our entire day is programmed tight. About 6:30, 7 o'clock, I have to get up and commute my distances and go to the office, and then I've got enough work till 6:30, and at 6:30 or 7 o'clock I come back home, really tired by 8:30. And after a shower, after all I am a human being, Swamiji, I go for a little recreation, and then I come back. Generally, I am carried to the bed. But certain days, I walk to the bed. Till next day morning. I am tired. I am busy. Yet, certain days, you will have to carry some other obligation. A friend of yours is in a tragic accident, has gone to the hospital, and you have heard it, you have to go there and encourage him. A bereavement, you have to go there. Make time somehow or other. So time is only 24 hours. You are a busy man, we all know it, but it is an obligation. You have to go there and condole them. Where there is a marriage and other good, auspicious things, go there, congratulate them. These are things. If there is a war, stop all your activities and take up the guns and go there first to defend your country. Hey, what about my education? I'm in the 3rd year or the 4th year or the final year. Stop it. There is no meaning in your education if there is no country. First the country. Go and defend your country. Careful, protect your heart, and then come back and then continue your education. Thus there are certain times, it is not every day, certain duties incumbent upon us. These daily duties are called nitya karma. Karmas that are nitya, constant, every day, day by day, till you die. And naimittika karma. Karmas or duties that are incumbent upon you on special occasions. The daily duties plus the special duties that are come to us on certain occasions, together is called our obligatory duties. These are obligations to the society. We are living in a social web. We are not living alone in a cave in the Himalayas. We are living in a society, and therefore everyone is compelled to accept these duties, and therefore these duties together is called obligatory duties. Obligatory duty is called niyata karma. Now Krishna advises Arjuna in the most general terms so that it encompasses the entire humanity. Each one of you, do your obligatory duties, full stop. As an army man, your obligatory duty is different from as a thinker, as a politician, as a man of commerce, as an industrialist, as a research scholar. Each one has got his own duties. Each one do your duty as best as you can. If thus I take upon myself the duty of looking after my old parents, my wife and my children, I tell you, half the problem of the government is ended. And the society is only better off for it. Instead of kicking the father and old father and mother into one hole, saying and inquiring now and then, has he died? As a liability. And you are also growing old. Your son is growing up. And you are also on the line. As soon as the father and the mother have died, there are the 2 beds available. You go. You and your wife go and sit there waiting for death to come. And where is your son? Somewhere in the west coast. And your daughter? Oh, she is in south. In Florida side. Where daughter? Is she married? I don't know. Has she got children? I think I heard once that I had a granddaughter. But that is all. See, the poor man sits down to wait. He may make money. What use is it? Think. Instead of that, if you look hard, how happy his life can be. Not that he is taking any active part or interfering with you. But always consult him. Dad, this is what I am thinking of. What do you think of it? And Dad says, I think you are right. And Dad feels, so elated that the son came and asked me my opinion. I am not redundant. I am not unnecessary thing. I am not something dispensable. But they all respect my views. A time may come, even when you explain, he can't understand. But he feels that they are all coming and consulting me. There is a joy. So too the children and the wife and your own home. Never mind. Each one doing your own obligatory duties is your field. And if the Lord has placed you in an unconducive circumstance, He will not place it unless it is absolutely required. I go to the hospital unnecessarily. I don't know why the doctor felt fancy that he plastered my whole leg and it is hung to the ceiling in an uncomfortable 45 degrees angle. While my people on my right and the left, they are comfortably lying down. They can turn any side, but I can't turn any side. Why? My leg is in that condition. Now, is it that the doctor saw you and said, okay, hang his leg? Is it that? You came with an accident and your leg is broken down in 3 places and therefore it has to be put that way, and therefore the doctor is compelled because of your situation, your condition. He takes the knife and says, immediate, urgent, emergency operation. Doctor, I just came just to consult with you. Sorry, emergency. Is he not rolled up into the surgical ward and with surgery, and within half an hour or 1 hour, he sees that he is in the surgical ward lying down helplessly, opened up completely. Now, is it that the doctor says that the third man, two people I gave medicine, the third fellow, whoever comes, I will take knife on him. I have not practiced a knife, is it? Is it his choice? Is it not your condition that compels him to do it in order to bless you? Even ordinary mortal doctor could be so much of faith in him that when he advises, we take it up. The infinity intelligence behind the whole universe, infinitely merciful and all kind, a mass of love, when he gives you and drags you through sorrows and disappointments and dejections, it is only for curative purposes. So that whatever be the circumstance in which you find, whatever be the job that you are now doing, all that you have to change is not change the environment, but change the very mental attitude towards it. I have been put in the hospital for let us say, chronic tummy pain or some trouble. I got annoyed with them. 3 months I have spent there and I am tired of it. The doctor not giving anything to eat and I am never allowed to walk or move about and things like that, until at last I became so desperate. I decided what? To improve the situation. And what is the improvement in the situation? In the night, I quietly got up and walked out of the hospital. Full stop. The doctor, nurses say that no, he has gone away, and doctor says, good. Clean the bed. Because the patients are always waiting. We can give the bed to another patient. What can we do? By myself running away from it, who is the loser? Not the doctor, not the hospital. It is I myself, because I am going with my disease and therefore it will increase and I may die on the sidewalks. When the vasanas are there, it determined what should be the environment in which you are. By running away from that environment, you are not going to improve yourself. You, wherever you go, you will create such an environment because it is a vasana that is forcing us to the environment. So then each one of us have the faith. This is called faith in God. The faith that He is just. He has placed me in the right situation. Whatever be the situation, let us do our obligatory duties as best as we know, which may not be the best. I don't say that that is the best, the only best. But as far as I know, I try to do it as best as I can. Thereby exhausting the existing vasanas.